something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist. You can get away from chase beach views and every day. All you wanna hear is an episode that we play. Sit right next to you.
Hey everybody, welcome to the chat with myself, the OCD-ish chick, and
Hands in the dirt. What's going on?
Bougie Prepper, toot toot.
hey, got the whole gang here tonight. We are excited for this show tonight, you guys. Let's see who's up in here. Welcome to the chat debates. We're going to debate it up tonight. Let's see who's the first one in here tonight. Pescatarian Gardner. Welcome to the chat. She's saying, good evening. I will be listening in the bushes for a while, driving home. Yes, drive safely. Yes.
Safe travels.
That's why we have ears. God gave us ears to listen. Yes, safe travels.
Riri's Garden. What's going on?
Hey, Riri.
Hey, Riri's Garden. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. You are listening and working in the garden. Yeah, it is that time of the year. Everybody's out in their garden. It has been raining all day today, so no garden for me. Sylvia, fit never quit.
Hey, Sylvia. Happy
Hello,
Saturday.
Nikki, Stacy, and
Hey, Sylvia.
Renee.
Yeah, it ain't been rain. It rained last night, and
hey, Renee.
We caught a little sprinkle this afternoon, but it ain't raining.
Yeah.
It's Cassandra. Hello, hi.
Cassandra.
Very much overcast. Good evening, Nikki, Stacy, Bougie Prepper, and chat. Driving and listening. I'm down your way, Stacy. Everybody's in the car. It is Saturday, so everybody's out and about. Yeah, running their errands.
Miss Kia Parks.
Hey, Miss Kia Parks.
Miss Kia, I was out past your way not too long ago. My nephew stayed up like a little bit past you. I was out your way. Weird.
Awesome.
Hey, Kason.
Kason's 55. Hey,
what's
the
going
OCD
on,
is
Kason?
Hands in the dirt. Bougie Prepper and chat. Good to see you, Kasons.
Hey, Miss Laura.
What's up, Laura?
Garden.
Look at my peeps right there. What's up, Laura?
Hello. Yeah. Laura was on with us on Wednesday for Wind Down Wednesday. She did she played Family Feud. Did an excellent job. Yeah.
She's gonna get to come back. Redeem herself.
Yeah. So anybody here who's new, the three of us, we hang out on Wednesday nights over at Stacy's channel, Hands in the Dirt. We do Wind Down Wednesday every Wednesday, and you have to bring your own what, Stacy?
Bring your own bottle.
Bring your own bottle. Yeah. It's real laid back over there on Wednesday nights. You know, it's hump day. So we hang out and play a little Family Feud and you know.
I don't turn Wind Down Wednesday to Slurp Saturday.
To Slurp, I know. Yeah, I got a little something in my cup.
Do you?
Yeah, cheating.
Definitely ain't Folgers.
Little Slurp Saturday. I need to get some sleep. You know, I suffer from insomnia, all kind of stuff. I can't sleep, so I've been up late.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I probably 3 hours. This morning, couple hours. I gotta get some rest.
Does your body just sometimes just crash after, like, you know, going so many days with a few hours of rest? Does it ever you just shut down and you down for 10 hours? Does it play catch up?
No, I never sleep like that. If I'm sleep for 8 hours, anything like that, y'all need to stick a thermometer to me.
You sick?
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick as hell.
Man, my body, I would have to at some point. My body was playing catch up. Like, okay, that's it.
I wish I could sleep like 9-10 hours like people. I never have been like that.
Yeah.
I don't have no problem sleeping that long, but I know I cheated yesterday. I went out and put the weed barrier down.
Okay.
Oh, you did?
And I was too lazy. I thought about the thing, but I got a lot more to do. So, but I'm gonna still try to put a video to show the before and after for the for your challenge, Nikki.
Oh yeah.
And I cheated. I took a Tylenol before I went out.
She took
Nothing wrong with that because my back been killing me. Had I taken,
I had to. My back would have bad. Then, like 2 hours later, I took a Advil. So I cheated bad.
Had I
Yeah, well,
taken
I was out there doing Indian squats,
doing the most.
damn,
putting the
Doing
nails
the
in
most. Ah,
let
and
my
me
back
find
don't
everything.
hurt.
out.
My back
What?
don't hurt.
Putting an Indian squat? What? My
Okay.
daughter was like, "Yeah, you was out there talking about I picked things up and I put them down, huh?" I moved all of
You were
my
dropping it
after
like
I
it's
put
hot in the
the
garden, huh?
after I put the fabric down. I moved all my pots onto the fabric. So I was
Mm,
out there. I mowed before I did.
wow.
Then I pulled out. I put together the stature, Stacy, and then I ran that to see
Wow.
how that works. And it was when I tell you we ain't got no grass out there.
Okay.
Everything is dead. When I tell
Okay.
you that grass is dead, it's gone.
You
Dead,
sprayed
dead.
that stuff I was telling you about?
No, I tell you we got a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mm-mm.
right. Oh, okay.
Who's also doing the most,
I
apparently.
forgot y'all animal lovers. My
GT
dog,
Junior
he
Hey,
a,
frozen
Juicy
Alaska.
Junior.
Hey there.
my dog
When
just
I
have to be
finish,
itchy.
I knew I was gonna pay for it, even though I took the Tylenol. You talking about
Yeah.
somebody's legs feel like jello?
I'm
Yeah.
taking a muscle relaxer
Arms
tonight.
are hurting me. Oh my goodness.
Taekwondo parent here, kids had the belt test. Cool
Oh,
beans.
Hey,
okay.
Cool
oos.
beans.
How did they say
All
oos?
right.
Is it oos? When
Mm,
my kids, that's what they took, Taekwondo.
They
okay.
just had them
Gardening
on.
is great. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for
What's
being
going
here.
on?
Gardening is
Garden is
great.
great.
Appreciate y'all
He
coming on
says,
in
I felt the
here.
same way, Stacy, but I do crash after. No, yeah.
Okay, she does crash after a few days. Yeah, that would be me. I could only do that for a little bit, but
But you
eventually,
know what?
yes.
I do.
Happy Mac, how you doing?
Hey, happy.
I did fall asleep on the couch up here last night. I think about it. We was
Mm-hmm.
up here watching something. I fell asleep
Mm-hmm.
with like those little 10, 15, 20 minutes. It felt
Cat
like I was,
naps. So your body goes into cat nap mode to
yeah,
catch
I
you up
thought
to
I
speed.
woke up and I was like, man, let me go downstairs. And I went downstairs. I was up.
Yeah.
I haven't been taking naps like in the past couple of months. I have not been
I'm
taking
not
no
a nap
naps.
taker. I feel like I'm going to miss something. I
I ain't
cannot
that
go to sleep in the
nosy.
middle of the day. Like, it doesn't feel right. I feel very guilty if I laid down and tried to nap. I don't know why, but I can't. I just stay up all day until, I just crash in the evening. But
Hmm.
That might be what I need. But I'm gonna take a muscle relaxer tonight, so I already know what's gonna happen.
never been a nap taker.
I'm sipping
Glorious
Hello,
on
Ellie
this.
is
Elder.
gardening. Hey there. How you
I'm
doing,
sipping
Nikki
on
B,
this. That
Stacy, and
muscle
Ted?
relaxer tonight is gonna be over
Oh
with.
no.
I
Hmm.
am jealous. Everybody's listening while in the garden. I can't get out there. Mine is too wet. My plants are loving the
Pause.
rain, but it's too messy
Pause.
out
Pause. Pause.
there.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, pause. 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 Hey Mary, grow with me.
Hey, Mary.
1964. What were you doing in 1964, Bougie?
I wasn't born.
Me either.
Gloria Elliott.
That is 4 years before my time.
I say close, but no cigar. Yeah,
Yeah,
1970 for me.
3 years before mine.
I guess that was a good year for Mary.
Indiana
Hey,
Jackson.
Indiana
Hey,
Jackson, how you
Indiana
doing?
Jackson. How you
Good to see
doing?
you. Welcome to the chat.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Max says no naps unless I'm feeling poorly. That would be me too. If you
Mm.
see me napping, I'm definitely under the
She
weather.
said,
Something is wrong. Call the doc. Yeah. Feel your bougie. My legs hurt so bad after putting down some board or my
what happened
feet.
to the Megan knees? What happened to y'all with the Megan knees?
Uh-oh. No.
What and who is
Megan.
Megan? That's what I
Megan.
need to know. Who's
Megan the
Megan?
Stallion.
Megan where?
Mm,
Ain't no stallion knees over
With
here.
the
I
Megan
don't
knees.
know who that is. I guess I don't have her needs.
What'd
Yeah.
you say, Pooh?
Oh, indeed. Let's see. The mosquitoes run me in about 4:30. Oh yeah.
Mm,
Mosquitoes on you. Sylvia says I was 8 in
in
1964. All
1964.
right.
Okay.
Great to be 8. Great to be 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she
Yeah.
never in her life had Megan
No,
knees.
Okay, I'm with Sylvia. Never in my
Yeah, I
life.
said she never had no Megan knees.
they may have had Martha's knees, but definitely not
Yeah.
Megan. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
That's funny.
No, indeed.
That is
Man,
funny. Yeah.
appreciate you all being here. Let's see.
But I did get in the garden. I got out there and scratched around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I planted my Cushaw squash.
Awesome.
but I planted them in a container. I didn't put them in the garden because squash normally stretches.
Yeah, they will sprawl out all over the place.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take some of that lawn fabric and I'm gonna put on one like on one I'm gonna put my melons and on the other I'm gonna put that cushaw and just let them
Okay.
sprawl out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. How do you guys handle losing an argument?
How do I
I don't
handle it?
even know how to. I don't even know how to argue. So I don't be arguing.
Well, for the most part, now you're gonna have to be right. That's just a Virgo in me. I got to know the facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But if I see that facts don't matter to you, I ain't gonna sit down arguing.
Then you're not gonna right. Let's see. I gotta weigh this out.
Right. Yeah. I don't even see the point of arguing.
Yeah, I'm the,
My
I'm talking
eat.
about
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about like a discussion, like you having a discussion with somebody,
Right.
and
Right.
Mm-hmm.
okay, there's a such thing as reason,
Mm-hmm.
this, that,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
there's some laws of order to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right. Exactly.
there are no
I don't.
alternative
I
facts.
don't.
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
see
saying?
what's the point of arguing with somebody,
And
especially
it
if they stuck on stupid.
mm,
Yeah,
Like,
and it doesn't necessarily have to mean like a screaming match. It could just be
a
that you're,
conversation,
just a conversation going back and forth, but
right?
you happen to be wrong in the case. So in the
Yeah,
situation.
I don't have to win. I'm like,
and
okay,
then too, you don't need to be argue if you willing to find out what is the correct information about what
but
you're
some people
talking
don't want
about.
that. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that's
You
not the
just
But that's
basis.
why I said if you're willing to want to know the
Yeah,
correct
that's not the
information,
basis
but
of the whole conversation. The basis of the conversation is I'm going to be right, whether it's right or wrong. Like
yeah.
right, exactly.
I'm going to make
Yeah.
up every excuse it is for
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
Yeah, like yeah. I think I think everybody gets a little petty like that sometimes when you're talking to somebody. Like they getting on your nerves and they pissing you off, and you like, you know what? Yeah, it is. The sky is purple and green.
Okay. It's a rainbow.
Yeah,
It's a lollipop. You say you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
argue.
Miss Laura. No, don't
Yeah.
argue.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I think
Some,
as we get older, at least,
yeah, you just
many of
like
us, yeah, all that arguing back and forth, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
I was talking to my
Hey,
Hola.
sister.
¿Cómo
yeah,
estás,
yeah, like your
How
sister.
you doing,
Stacy?
sister-in-law? Good to see
I
you.
don't like all that fuss and know it. Like I was over to my sister's house watching my nephew go ready to go to his prom, and his little sister, and this my niece and my other little nieces and great niece. They just running around screaming, and it just my nerves is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Wanting to be
I'm like,
heard.
man, listen, y'all go sit down somewhere. That y'all,
Right.
you run in the house screaming like that. That make me. I'm gonna say duck because I'm coming.
Right, right.
Don't do that around me. I'm not
What is going on? Right.
right. I'm built different. Like
Say,
I
I'm
can't
going
function
in
like that.
and I'll ask questions later.
Right.
Happy Max says, I'm mostly a giver upper on arguing. I know I'm right. Move on. Yeah. I've got to that place too where it's like, go ahead and say what you need to say. And I'm in la la land somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't really care. So basically, if I'm not coming back at you, I really don't care.
Well, so, a lot of
You
times
can you can say what you need to say and get it out your system. But okay, I
you
feel
could
the way I
tell
feel, and no
when
need for me to even explain it to you.
sometimes you could tell when people are just they got that poking for they just trying to poke with you, and sometimes
Mm.
you could tell, and they Teddy Pender they petty grass, they petty Pendergrass. That's what
Patty Pendergrass.
they petty Pendergrass, and I just turn
Hmm.
off the lights.
Yeah, I sure will. I'll just go dark on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
You can say what you need to say. I
You
don't
can
need to talk.
talking,
I don't need to. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
feel a need to defend myself.
yeah.
I feel the way I feel, but you
I
get
go
whatever you need off your chest, and so we can both go our
go our
separate ways.
separate ways, and I definitely give you your space. I don't, because
Yeah.
it's at some point it gets silly.
Hmm.
Mm.
When you were younger, in your early 20s or something, maybe your early 20s, you may have been like that.
Yeah.
Um, you trying to get out the house, so you're gonna start an argument, that type of shit.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why is the spoons
That's
on this
stupid.
side, when they
Just
should be over
stupid.
on that side.
Yeah, just stupid. Just
just
stupid.
just anything. What you talking about? That's
That's
what I'm talking
poor.
about right
That
there.
sound like miserable. That sound like a
Yes,
miserable person.
very.
You're
Yeah,
just
no, they trying to
miserable.
slide.
Right.
So they come in the house and argue about anything.
Yeah, you're
Y'all
just
says
miserable.
when stupid is talking, I just be quiet. Yeah, that
Exactly, Sylvia.
arguing with
Yes.
people who are stuck in their way. Oh yeah, you're
Well,
Hmm.
never
you know
gonna
they
win that
say
argument.
if you argue with a fool from a distance, other people can't tell who's who.
That is true. Yep, that is so true.
Yeah.
Broke farmer,
What's up,
welcome to the
Double
chat.
What's up,
How
D?
you
bro?
doing? Good to see you
CC,
tonight. Said Nikki, Stacy, and Boucher.
Tori, Brand Gang. What's up, boy?
Everybody, and now I don't have time for all that. Yeah, as we get
Man,
Exactly.
most of
sometimes
us
you
just
don't.
don't have time for that.
You know, you shouldn't have time for that no matter what age you are. That's
Sometimes,
just a waste of energy. It's a waste
It
of
and
sometimes
time
you
that's
don't
the
and
know.
part.
energy.
I don't
Sometimes
have
you
the
don't know
energy
how
to
stupid
do it
somebody
anymore.
is until they open their
CC.
mouth and confirm it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Sometimes you don't know how stupid somebody is until they open their mouth and confirm it. You're like, well, yep. They
Hey,
confirmed.
G Mama, that is true.
Hey, G
Hey, G Mama.
Mama.
Hey, G Mama.
Tori's
Garden
Green. How you
Palmer.
doing, Tori?
What's up, Tori?
Everybody's coming up in here.
Hey, Veggie Farmer.
Appreciate you all.
CC. You know,
Veggie Farming. Hey,
Hey,
sis. How you
Stacy.
while they had their mouth
Hey,
closed,
CC. Did I say hi, CC? What's up?
doing? Yeah, we said hi to CC up there. Hey, CC.
when they had their mouth closed, you thought they could have been a part of Mensa. You like, you know what I'm saying? You just think they in that, you know, that they're in that special group. We know all these super smart people in Mensa
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
until they open their mouth and confirm. Nope.
And confirmed, yeah, that part.
Yeah, no.
That part. I tell you.
Some of the
3 more
Those.
theories,
days of
Mm-hmm.
some of
Oh, you still flooding over there, Cece?
Oh
You got
yeah, I
three
saw
more
CC.
days of rain? We had 3 days too, but it don't. It's raining like a little bit and then it'll stop. You had rain this morning, early this morning, Stacy.
yeah,
Like
like through
hard,
the night,
hard.
we got some
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah,
This during this
same here.
morning, it had stopped, and then I went out and did a few things, and then it started up a little
Up
sprinkle.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came in the house, and when I went back outside, it was dry again. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to start back raining again tonight.
yeah, I think we get
We're
it
supposed to
tonight.
start back tonight.
Yeah, I think we
But it
get it.
did say for us 3 days too. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're
Yeah,
supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be having rain for the
I
three
think we
days.
get it tonight, and
Yeah.
then we'll
And
see.
tomorrow, right? Monday?
Yeah,
Did it
yeah,
switch
yeah,
to Monday or Sun
something like
tomorrow?
that, and
And
then we'll skip some
yeah,
days this week, and then it'll rain
yeah,
the
yeah.
weekend.
Mhm,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but by the time a lot of them storms are getting our way, that's coming out of the Midwest, a lot of them
mhm,
they're
mhm.
dissipating, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah, that we getting the rain from it.
we
Mhm.
Yeah,
get the rain, but we're not getting the foolishness.
Right, right.
that's good. Yeah.
That's how it was when we was in the Bronx. If there was any kind of bad weather, the Bronx would just get the wind and the rain from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Well,
how
we're
y'all
going to
learn
get
how to rap.
started with the, you guys ready to get started with the debate?
We might
Welcome
as
to the
well.
chat debates.
Ain't no thing but
So,
a chicken wing.
all right, we're going to go ahead and bring up our guest. Ready, guest?
Ready? Yes.
Let's
So
see.
everybody getting a little bit of rain.
We've got Tanya Parker
Tanya
and we've
Parker.
got Coach Mary Ma joining us
Oh,
tonight for the chat debates.
what's going
Hello.
on?
Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Let
Happy
me
to be here
let me
again.
get my eyes open so most of them
Yeah.
don't pick with me.
This is this is Coach Mary's second time here with us, I believe. Yeah.
On
And
the debates, yes.
Tanya, this is your second time too. So 2 and 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Tanya debated last time? Okay.
Yeah. So this is her second time
not
here.
for the debates
Not for the
on the
debate,
chat
Yeah.
but
on the
just
chat.
being here on the
She was
show.
Yeah, second
Oh,
yeah.
time
okay.
this year, but I've been here more than 10
Yeah,
years.
Coach Mary Ma, this about 3 times or
Is
more.
it
Yes,
3? Oh,
yes.
okay.
Oh, we're dealing with a veteran?
You
Uh-oh.
got a
Yeah.
veteran here.
Okay, so you've got one up on Tanya. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
3, man.
Nikki, won't
Yeah,
you pass the Dutchie on the left hand
I'm
side?
telling you. I'm telling you.
Pass the
I tell you, the memory is fading.
Yes.
Man.
That what happens.
All right.
Memory is not failing. You are selecting to keep the amount of money in your account than to keep.
That's right.
That part.
All
That
right,
part,
we're
Coach.
going to be coached tonight. All right,
Okay. All
your
right.
That's
with
selecting
your
that piece.
selective memory.
All right. Hang on. Let's play a little jam and then we're gonna get into this. Welcome in Kenneth Wilkinson, and let's see who else slipped in here. The Haven. I'm
The,
not sure if
the
we
Hey,
missed
Haven.
anybody else.
Hey,
Hello, hello,
welcome to
hello.
the
We
chat.
appreciate you being
Welcome,
here.
welcome, welcome.
G Mama is welcoming our guest. Thank you, awesome moderator, G Mama. All right. So let's see. Let's slip into our word of the night. We're gonna break that off early tonight. Let me see if I can find the song for that word of the night. Word of the night, argument, a reason for or against something. And our sentence is the argument quickly escalated among the brothers. So if you guys have some sentences, go ahead and drop them in the chat. The word of the night is argument. Argument. Okay. All right. So debates. Debates do not look for the one true answer to controversial issues, but rather seek to find all sorts of arguments and views on different sides. So remember that tonight. Okay. All right. So our topic tonight is, should paternity tests be mandatory? Should paternity tests be mandatory? So first up, Team A is Coach Mary Ma and Hands in the Dirt. They will be arguing for paternity tests, and then we'll have Team B. Bouger Prepper and Tanya Parker will be arguing later against paternity tests. So you guys are going to have 5 minutes to speak, and then we'll go to the audience to see how the audience feels. And audience, while they're speaking, definitely feel free to type your comments as they're speaking. It may be something that you agree with or disagree with. So go ahead and share your arguments and views as well, because we all have views, we all have opinions on this. So again, there's not one true answer. So we want to hear all sides, and so everybody can participate, whether you're up here or not. Up here on the panel as well as in the chat. So going to give you guys 5 minutes. So Coach, let's see, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Let me set my stopwatch for 5 minutes. Or actually it's 7:25, so 7:30. Yeah, we'll start to close it out. All right, chat. So how you guys doing in the chat? You all understand what's going on here? Welcome in a beautiful jungle, Anae. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Coach Mary, you ready?
I am ready, Madam Moderator. Thank you, everybody who is in the chat, and thank you for coming here for this beautiful debate, a paternity test. This is a scientific procedure used to determine the biological fatherhood of a child. And today we are saying that it is really mandatory for several reasons. It's true that people have always given social, ethical, and legal considerations against it, but today we strongly say it should be mandatory. One, it should be mandatory to promote child welfare and identity rights, because according to the American Association of Blood Banks, around 30% of paternity tests reveal that the man presumed to be the father is not biologically related to the child. And so if they did a paternity test beforehand, all this confusion will not come up. Secondly, paternity testing ensures accurate medical histories. Accurate medical histories are vital for the health and well-being of the child. Knowing that the biological father's medical history can provide critical information about genetic conditions and diseases. And studies have shown that individuals with accurate family medical histories have better health outcomes, as it allows for early detection and prevention of hereditary diseases. So it should be mandatory, because also legal and financial responsibility. It is crucial. According to the US Census Bureau, about 20 million children in America live without a father, which means 1 out of every 4 child. And consequently, the absence of established paternity can complicate issues like custody, child support, and inheritance. So if there was mandatory paternity testing, this would ensure that fathers are accountable for their children. And this will potentially reduce the number of children who are living without the guidance of their fathers. And also, in case where a man denies fatherhood to avoid child support, a paternity test can conclusively prove his biological relationship to the child. Also, a paternity test will prevent paternity fraud in the case where a man is incorrectly identified as the father of a child, and then they go to do a paternity test and they find out that this was not even the father. So all of these kind of paternity frauds where a man will be so involved in financially taking care of some other person's child, these kind of things will absolve people who are wrongly identified as a father. And in the Netherlands, for example, where mandatory paternity testing is required for legal recognition, cases of paternity fraud have significantly decreased. So you see, it's so important to have these paternity tests. They also strengthens the parent-child bonds. When you know that this is your child and then you are responsible and you are there, you have bonding with your child. It equalizes parental rights. So there is clarity in the equitable distribution of parenting responsibilities. Why will I say there are so many reasons? Paternity tests are important in adoption and to track down the genealogy of people. It offers a conclusive insight into their genetic background. So there are so many reasons why it is mandatory to conduct paternity tests, because it enhances social equality, it reduces legal disputes, and all of those things that could have been stopped. Why not just do a paternity test and stop all of that? I rest my case.
All right, 7:30 on the nose. Excellent. Okay, Bouger, did you have anything to add? I'm sorry, Stacy, did you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I did. Okay, paternity fraud. This is an article from dadsdivorce.com. A national epidemic. When paternity fraud is committed, it isn't just the non-biological father who suffers. Paternity fraud is an act that leaves a throng of victims in its wake, from the real biological father who has been denied the rights to know and raise the child, to the child himself whom had been lied to every day since birth, and to the extended families of all parties who have also been victims of the daily deception. This was a overarching point of a recent op-ed by Diane Diamond titled "Dupe Dads Aren't the Only Ones Hurt by Paternity Fraud." We've seen countless times how easy it is for mothers to commit paternity fraud. That's because the legal system is determined to find someone to provide support for the child so the state won't have to do it. It isn't so much concerned with whether or not the father giving the support is the biological father or not. They don't care. So, in the state of Georgia, they have recently um, added where, uh, in order for a somebody to receive child support, a paternity test has to be given now. But historically, the United States historically imposed a strong presumption of paternity, and that it also imposed barriers to paternity challenges once the paternity has been legally established. And all that means is if Dino, the dummy, signs the birth certificate, then in the eyes of the law, whether he goes and get a paternity test afterwards or not, he is responsible for the child.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now you have states such as Georgia, California, and others that are trying to get a little bit of reversal on that. All right, 30% of men, not the father. And then this is these numbers are I looked at numbers from all over the world internationally, and really the numbers could be from anywhere from 1% to 30+%. And what they're saying, they're not saying that 30% of all kids are not it's paternity fraud. They're saying that the men that were actually given these DNA tests, with some of these tests, depending on what study it is up to 30+% of these came back negative.
Mm.
What is the real non-paternity rate? So, and that's what I was just talking about. So, to determine the true non-paternity rate, scientists usually turn to various studies of children with genetic disorders. In these studies, a large number of children are screened for genetic disorders like Tay-Sachs disease or cystic fibrosis, in which the child must inherit a copy of the defective gene from both parents to show the disease. Well, in 2010, an article in the LA Times, biological professor Marlene Zooks says when a large number of families are surveyed for such research, a certain proportion of fathers turn out not to have the gene that is purported and the child inherited, thus yielding a non-paternity of 1 to 3.7%. And these are the ones that are caught when they go and do these tests for, to see if these kids have some kind of biological issues or some kind of gene, something's wrong with their genes, whatnot. So they're finding that even doing these type of tests, not just paternity tests, just DNA tests, that 1 to 3.7% of these men are not the father. Okay, internationally, Jamaica has the highest rate of paternity fraud in the world at 34.6%, followed by Nigeria at 30+%, Canada at 2.8%, UK at 1.6%, and France at 1.4%. But those are from case to case studies. I've also found information from the University of Oxford in the UK, where they've done studies in 2008 at work, estimating anywhere from 1 to 30% of the men were not the father. And they've also done tests, DNA clinics in a subsidiary of a bioclinic group in South analyzed 5,000 results, random selected from January of 2014 to June 2016, revealing a striking outcome of 48% of the men were not the biological father. So it's a problem, and I think a lot of things could be solved if right at the get go you find out what's what. I think you could cut out a whole bunch of these marriage gowns and buying all these cakes and these rings uh, prior to you jumping the broom with her because the baby that's inside her is not yours. You know what I'm saying? So there's no need to walk down the aisle and all that. So I think the percentage of divorce would definitely go down. I think the percentage of divorce may go down because um, these these things not only with people that are having children out of wedlock, it's also people that are married. I looked at another article that I didn't copy. This article in Nigeria where they had really high numbers, all
Mm,
up to 68% of some of the studies. And what they found were a lot of the women were in relationship with men prior to getting married. And when they got married, they didn't stop those relationships. Henceforth, these children were born belonging to another man. I've seen a case where I think a man had, I think 6 kids or something about a lady, and well, none of it is his. I saw some case studies where in Korea, uh, it was actually Seoul, Korea,
mm-hmm,
Ireland, France, and all these different places where they actually had punitive actions going towards the mother, which is a rarity in the United States. Usually, if the fraud is found, nothing happens. All of your thousands of dollars or whatever it is that you put into this child, you can't get your money back. Um, you just got to go on and take the lump. But in some of these countries, they're fighting back where they're actually making these women pay this paternity money back. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
mm,
only fair, and I think it's fair to the child. It just would be a terrible thing if your child is in the hospital and needs to have some type of surgery or a blood transplant, whatever it may be, a bone marrow, and you get in there and he finds out through like that while he's sick,
mm-hmm,
possibly dying, and find out that you're not his biological father. I
mm-hmm,
think it's just a sad thing. And 9 times out of 10, people are not going to be honest about what's going on. Men or women. You know what I mean? So I think
okay.
I think it's just a fair thing to get the paternity test up front, cut out a whole lot of headache going down the road. If the man decides once he
Mm,
finds out it's not his and he still wants to be the father, and he signs the paper and he's legally obligated, and the father says that he doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Then that's one thing.
mm.
But it just to stick it on the man and he got to ride that out like that, I think is unfair.
Okay, let's excuse me. Let's go to some of the comments in the chat here. We had some comments here. Cece, she's saying 20 mil, wow. Let's see. Someone said it's worse, Happy Mac. It's worse than she thought. Maybe she's talking about the numbers, these percentages. Broke Farmer says, don't mess up a happy home with facts. That is definitely
That's the truth in
an
that.
opinion. Some people don't want facts.
Right.
Let's see. Some people just, I said what I said. The daddy is who I said the daddy is. Let's see, any more? What if the bio father is abusive? Well, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Dino Dummy is a good stepdaddy. Okay, it's sad we've come to mandatory testing of children due to the father not truly being known by the mother. Yes, absolutely. Women, you should know who your baby's daddy is. That's for sure. Um, let's see, any other? Okay, yeah. Again, the numbers are disturbing. They were disturbing for me. I didn't realize the numbers were so high. But yeah, so let's see. What else did Cece say? Look, they have the same nose. He's the daddy. Yeah, that can't
Man,
base on
listen.
that.
Grandma been wrong so many times. You used to take him to grandma. Grandma
Yeah,
been wrong so many times.
exactly. He's not my skin color. You know, he's
Right.
lighter than me, darker than
Right.
me.
Right.
I mean, when it comes to genetics, you don't know
You
what you're
don't
going
know.
to get. So yeah, we can't base it on those things. Welcome in urban backyard container gardening. Bring back Maury ASAP. I cannot stand the Maury show. My husband watches that mess. I cannot do it. It's too much. Racks my nerves.
I'm
I
150,000%
cannot.
sure.
Okay, you are the father. You are not the father.
Ah,
Hey
I
there,
run all over
Lisa,
the
our
place.
Georgia Suburban Homestead. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Lisa.
Hope
Hope
you
you're
are.
feeling good.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling well. I grew up watching Maury with my grandmother. DNA could have freed him up for a different career. Yes, absolutely. Veggie is saying, I don't like the idea of anything being mandatory. Give the father the option to choose if he wants the test.
That's right.
But if he's the father and he's able to choose whether or
Nikki,
not,
whose side are you on over here? I thought you
Yeah, I'm trying to make sense of this too, Nikki.
I'm trying to make
She's
sense of
she's
it.
the
Exactly.
moderator. She's not on no side.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
trying to
supposed to be in
decide,
the
right?
middle.
I'm
And
devil's advocate.
no, you're supposed to be in the middle.
if he the father, he don't have, he already took the test.
I'm putting it out there so people can comment on it. So yeah, so if it's not mandatory and he just decides that he doesn't want to take the test, he's not interested in being a father, but you laid down and impregnated somebody, well,
You got to
you
pay.
have to take care of your responsibilities.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Is that
Yeah, you
something
gotta
that
pay.
is that really a choice? I choose not to
No.
take care of my responsibility. If you
I
break
will
somebody's
discuss
window,
later.
do you have the option of, hey, I broke that window, but I choose not to be responsible for it?
If you run really fast, you don't have to pay for that window.
Listen.
Hey, yeah, he might have to run really fast. Yeah, if there's a mandatory thing, then yeah, you may have to run from the DNA testing. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Is that really a
So
choice?
many things in our society is mandatory. It's mandatory that you have a driver's license to drive. It's mandatory that you have insurance to drive. A lot of things are mandatory that people do not do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This topic hits home somewhat. We had custody of a family member's twins. Going through the process, we found out the twins had different fathers.
Wow.
That happens.
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah.
Wow.
That does happen.
Wow. That's it happens.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We're talking about paternity, Lisa. Okay, here's the topic.
Isn't this wind down Wednesday?
Should paternity tests be mandatory? This is Wind It Up Saturday. Wind it up for paternity testing be made mandatory, possibly.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the topic, Lisa. What do you think? Share your thoughts. Okay, see, Lord, we leave off. There's an old saying, I will feed them until they start looking like me. How about that?
That's the old saying, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Coach Mary can't be double down in the comments, too.
She said, catch me if you can.
No, I was just answering the question. I was just answering somebody's question.
Yeah, there was a question down in the chat. Being an abusive father does not absolve him from his responsibilities towards his children. Yeah, so that's definitely a different can of beans, worms, whatever you want to call it. That's a different show. Oh yeah, Lisa. Feel better.
Is Lisa on the same page as we are?
Yeah, Lisa, well, she's been through some things. So yes, I guess she must be catching folk up in the chat.
Oh,
that's what that is.
I was like, am I supposed to be talking about something else?
J3GS Farm, how you doing?
Welcome to the chat. Honey Flinger.
Lisa's got folk confused in here. Let's see. Okay, everybody's speaking. Let's see. Are there any other comments here? Let me scooch down.
Scooch on down, Nick. Scooch on
Let
down.
me scooch on down here. All right. Happy Max says, I like mandatory testing. Saves hurt feelings from the spouse. Yeah. So do you guys think that the mandatory testing is a good thing, especially if it's done up front at the beginning, so that, yeah, a lot of feelings are saved. You don't have children living with you for 10 years and then you find out this isn't your child. These aren't your cousins,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, save a lot of hurt feelings, money, a lot of things.
Weddings,
yeah. Other children.
Like, nah, have them and not my children. You say they were mine. We are not jumping no broom. Burn the broom.
Exactly. Let's see. Cece says, my baby daddy didn't want the test. He didn't want the test. So technically, he doesn't know if your babies are his or not.
No, technically, yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
But I guess they look like him, so maybe he's good with that.
My neighbor kids look like me. They white.
Be court ordered.
You mad silly.
I guess he really trusts you, Cece. You're a good lady. He said that Cece would never lie to me.
Yeah. Hey,
Upfront testing takes away a lot of stress and makes women be more responsible. Absolutely. Now this is shouldn't this be about responsibility on the man's part as well as the woman's part? On both parts.
It's on both parts.
So
But
it's not just against the man. We're not man bashing at all.
No,
Like all parties involved should know.
Nikki is not in the middle. Can I say that? She is not.
I'm just throwing stuff out there, Tanya. I'm just saying. I'm throwing stuff out there. We have
me and Bougie have not said our spiel yet. So
no, you have not, and you will have your turn, Missy. Okay, you will have your turn. Let's see what else do we have here. LP says, "I don't think it's a choice, but plenty folks do." Yeah, LP doesn't think that it's a choice. What do you guys think about that statement?
Yeah, it's not the burden's on the man to find out. It's not the burden's not on the woman because she.
The baby's in her. She knows she's the mama. Or am I the mama? My stomach is bigger. Am I the mama though?
Yeah,
they always say
I'm the mama.
She knows she's the mama.
There's a saying that only the mother knows who the true father of the child is. And so most of the women who manipulate, they know.
Sometimes they
know
don't.
The father, but they are looking for someone to pay the bills.
Sometimes they don't know who the father is. Sometimes they don't. They
got
that community.
People within the same month or so.
They got that community loving going on. You know what I mean? You know, like the community swimming pool.
Yeah.
So they sometimes they really don't know because they've dealt with so many people in
such a close
time frame.
Yeah. Sadly, our George Suburban Home says it takes two at Broke in particular. Good point, Broke Farmer. Let's see, did we miss something or was it a previous statement? Maybe about breaking up the happy home or something. I think it's the government just trying to be in your pockets. Who agrees with that? Is it really about the government?
Truth. That's the truth.
So the government just wants these mandatory testing so that they can get paid. They really don't care who your baby daddy is.
You don't have to go through the government to get a DNA test. You don't have to go through the government to get a DNA test.
You might if it's mandatory.
What I'm saying is a friend of mine went and got the swab and he swabbed the child, put the thing and sent it off.
Yeah, but if it's mandatory, it's going
to if it's mandatory, it's going to go through the government.
That would not be like a random lab in the neighborhood. This will have to be governed.
I mean, these labs are certified labs. You know, they're not sending it to Pookie and them looking up under the microscope.
They would still monitor the results, but I'll get onto that when it's my 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Urban backyard container gardening. I tell you, getting feisty up in here. All right, should be mandatory testing. Unfortunately, it's a society we live in. People play games. Yeah. People play games.
So that CC Veggie Farming says, yes, it's once the paternity test is mandatory, next step would be mandatory. Yes, child support is already mandatory on a man, whether he's the parent or not. It's already mandatory. Now, whether he pays it or not, that's up to him, but it's already mandatory on him. He's in the system.
Mandatory would also lessen the burden on the court system. More important things than right. I would have to agree with that. Let's see. That's my job. Confusing folks. And you do a good job of that, Lisa.
I caught up, Lisa. I caught up.
Okay. Let's see. Family doesn't have to be blood relatives. You got pregnant, deal with it. If father needs to contribute and you're not married, I test.
But it needs to be the right man. I don't understand that part. It needs to be the right man. I mean, you ain't got to be blood, but it needs to be the right man.
Yeah. Stacy, you might have some white in you, right?
I probably do.
We all do. I think we probably all mutts, right?
I'm the darkest thing in my family.
No, I ain't claiming none of that, none whatsoever.
It's on the record. Bougie is not claiming that.
I need
Okay.
to.
She
I
said
hadn't
it.
got a DNA test to see my heritage, so I don't know.
Let's see. It can happen both ways. I knew someone, he was claiming the child. He married someone else. The mother of the child kept harassing him. Long story short, blood test proved he wasn't.
That's what happened to a friend of mine. Long story short, for
Yeah.
16 years he paid.
Wow. And probably, yeah, we'll never see that
Locked
money.
up. He got locked up.
Wow.
Being locked up.
Mhm. I think this should be a mandatory paternity test, and you can avoid all of the family whispers, and then children hear it and get in their feelings. Maybe she's trying to say, those family secrets, and nobody talks about it. Yeah, the family secrets. I tell you, they go to the grave, or come out the closet years later. Right. Me and
Right.
my uncle grew up as twin brothers. Yeah,
Wow.
J3GS. Yeah, he shared some of his family history with us. Community loving.
Love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody get a turn.
Funny thing is, when I was pregnant, someone asked my ex-husband if he was going to get a DNA test, and he politely told her no, he didn't need to do all of that. He already knew, huh?
Mm.
When I came in, Nikki, you were asking if it's a choice to take care of your responsibilities. I was saying, no, I don't think it's a choice, but some folks do. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a choice.
Yeah, right. Got it, LP. Thanks for clearing that up. Nah, it's
Childcare.
about child care. Yeah, these children do need care. True. True.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Veggie Farmer says, yes, CC, once the paternity test is mandatory, next step will be mandatory child support.
Right.
Somebody's got to take care of these kids. Yeah.
Right.
They're not cheap.
The state's trying to get them off their books.
Yeah. It ain't the government, it's the women from Freaknik that caused all of this. And the men too. They were at Freaknik.
Listen, I'm not going to say I was at Freaknik, but I was around.
Don't you put that on the women.
Was Stacey in that video? I think Stacey was in that video.
Yeah, from behind. Our family got that Forrest Gump box of chocolate heritage. You never know what you're going to get. These tests could be important because, yeah, you just never know what you're going to get with genetics.
Right.
They may not look like you or the daddy.
They
They
may
may
not
look
look
like the great, great, great granddaddy. You just never know.
Yeah.
You can't go by looks.
Yeah. And if it's yours, you got to pay.
Hey, Bam, with Arthur Butler. Good to see you tonight.
Hello, neighbor.
He came out
Okay,
with
I think we
freckles.
need to move on. Let's see, were there any other comments? The woman might not know exactly who the father is, but she's the only one who knows whether or not there's a reason to question.
Facts.
Good point. Good point. Good. Darth X, hey there. I don't see you yet, but oh, you go. Here you are. Welcome in. Got here. What did I get into? Paternity testing. Do you think it should be mandatory? Do you think paternity testing should be mandatory? Okay, let's see if we can get down to the end and tell you what while we're doing that. Tonya, you're going to be up in just a few. So
Okay.
you get ready here. Let me.
You are nowhere near the bottom. So
okay,
you
well,
can
I'm just going to go on
Tanya
down
go.
to the bottom. All right, Tonya, you go ahead and you speak your truth.
Okay, thank you so much for everyone for being here. First things first, mandatory paternity does not make a man or woman responsible. Sure, you can identify who the father is, but that will not make them pay. That will not make them be present. That will not make them a good father. That does not mean a happy ending. Mandatory means a money grab. Who is responsible for paying for this? The mother? The taxpayers? I mean, think about the resources that are involved, right? We're talking like more staff. We're talking tests. We're talking detectives, because you may or may not tell that person who the father is. And this person is not going to volunteer probably. So we're thinking all the time it takes to look for these people, to get them to come in. So we're talking about policing as well. So all of our resources, so many things going on in this world, and we're going to worry about mandatory paternity testing to get these people in for this. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. It's a money grab.
Mm-hmm.
Surely this will flood the government with wait times, overwhelming staff. The other point I wanted to make is retaliation. Women may be targeted for mentioning these men. We don't know who these men are. There's trauma related to this. We don't know how the pregnancy came about. We don't know the circumstances involved. There may be a reason why the woman does not want to name names. There could be a safety situation with the mother and the children, right? There could be fear. Someone earlier mentioned abuse. There could be a reason why you don't want to name it as far as those things. What is the government doing with our DNA? Right? What are they going to use it for? Now that the government is very important, if you're saying mandatory, what are they going to do with this information? You can
Mm-hmm.
be framed, you will be judged. Um, will this be on their resumes? I mean, where is there a file somewhere with a man's name making him look um, a certain way because of this? Right. So now we have a woman who doesn't know who the father is exactly. We have a man who has to be tested because he's not willingly coming forward. Those things will be judged, characteristics of someone who's not responsible. A woman who's loose. Those are the things that they're going to be labeled as, you know, and that may not be true. We don't know the circumstances. We start policing women's bodies and we start to judge how they got there. And then the double standard. Sure, men can do it, but it's women who get pregnant. Right. Stacy kept saying like community this and community that. Right. So, but men can do it, but we have the evidence of it.
Right.
So, you're judging a woman. Oh, you need a paternity test because you're fast. But the men need one too because they're out there. But
They even faster.
thank you. So, it's important to realize these mandatory tests will affect how people are being portrayed. This information
Mm-hmm.
could be leaked. It's in a file. It's somewhere that is going to be attached to that person's name. Privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Privacy is important. You can't just be giving this away freely. It's something that you can't deal with on your own. Like I said earlier, what are you going to do with this information? I think that's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tanya. You said a bunch.
Said a
Said a
bunch.
bunch. Yes. Okay, Bouger, you're up.
Okay, Tanya touched on some of the stuff I had here too with the privacy and so I'm going to add to that is the impact on child-parent relationships. Mandatory parenting testing could negatively impact relationships between fathers and their children. Discovering that a child is not biologically related to their assumed father could lead to emotional trauma and strained family bonds. I wanted to also touch what Tanya said too on the resource allocations. Implementing mandatory paternity tests would divert resources away from more pressing societal issues instead of focusing on testing. Paternity resources could be better allocated to initiatives aimed at supporting families, promoting child welfare, and addressing broader social challenges. And my last one I'm going to do is false positive and false negatives. Paternity tests, like any other medical tests, are not infallible. There's a risk of false positive or false negatives, which lead to unjust accusation or denials of paternity. Mandatory testing could exacerbate these risks, potentially causing harm to innocent families. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. So let's see.
Yes.
Let's go to some of the comments. Excellent, excellent. You two did a great job.
Thank you.
Let's see. Where do you want to start? Let's see here. For comments. So as
Can
far
I
so
just
we
add?
we def
Right.
Go
Can I
ahead.
just add that we do enough of policing women's bodies? So I do think that we should give them the opportunity. Not say I'm not by any means saying that testing shouldn't be done, but I don't think it should be mandatory. If that woman feels like that's something that needs to be done for child support or health reasons, then by all means. But we police women's bodies enough to stop making
Okay.
things mandatory.
One of the things that you mentioned, Tanya, was if the woman maybe she got pregnant by someone who is not good, it's not safe, and she doesn't want him to be in her life or her child's life. I think that if it were mandatory, I'm sure there would have to be like exceptions to the rule, like where women could let the judge know, for instance. This is happening. Maybe I was raped. I feel unsafe around this child. The father of my child is not somebody who should be in my life or my child's life. And so I'm sure in those particular situations, we can make exceptions.
Wait a minute,
But
whose
just
side are you on? I'm so confused about what you're saying here now.
I just ain't
yeah,
said nothing. I'm waiting for Nikki to finish.
Yeah,
just in general, I'm putting it
Please
out there.
sway. She
I
is
am
tainted. I would
putting
like a
both
new host,
sides.
please. New
Yeah,
host.
whatever. No new house. Denied.
Right.
But I'm just
I
putting it
mean,
out there. There are definitely there could be exceptions to the rule if safety is involved.
Right.
well, I mean that is not our argument, though. Our argument is to not make it mandatory because of that.
Mhm.
Well,
Not
The
to have an
bottom line,
exception to that. Not
if
to
I
have an
can say
exception.
something,
Go ahead, Coach.
what we are saying is we want people to be responsible. It's a matter of taking responsibilities. And we are talking about, each time we talk about people's rights, automatically we are talking about responsibilities. Rights go with responsibilities. So, whatever the case, is a way of bringing people to be responsible. Even if we think that if they take the DNA, what would they do with it? People go voluntarily to sell their sperms, to sell their reproductive whatever. So all of those things, people voluntarily give themselves to be used. Even when you're using free apps, they tell you it's free. Nothing is free.
Right.
So it's a matter of if it's my right, take your responsibility.
It's your right, but it's not to have to be mandatory. It could be your right to ask the judge for paternity testing. He can rule that, but I don't think it should be mandatory because it's a woman's body. It's her choice of who she has in the life of her and her child.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But also, when
Y'all
it
heard
is
that? She agreed with
when
me.
yeah, I totally agree with you. But when the woman is taking her rights and choosing what she wants, she should take the responsibility to tell the truth. You can tell the
Yeah.
guy, this child is not yours. This is how I got the
right.
child, and the guy will decide to accept the child or not.
Right.
If you
Just be
that's
open.
one scenario. There's not
But
always a scenario when there's abusive, rape, or
yeah,
date
let's
rape,
let's
all these different opportunities. There's no opportunity to go to that person and say, "Hey, I'm pregnant by you."
right. But why put it on another man? Is what I'm saying.
No.
Well,
This is not about this is not the argument. The argument is not putting it on someone else. The argument is, should it be mandatory? We're not talking about scamming. Scamming is a
okay,
different
so
subject.
what I'm
We're
saying
not
is,
saying there's multiple men and we're picking who we want the father to be. We're saying, should it be mandatory?
okay, so here's my thing. So she knows who she slept with, right? Let's just say she
Okay.
slept with one guy. Let's just say she slept with this one guy, and he's
Okay.
an abusive guy, right? So she automatically knows what 100%. She knows
Mhm,
who it
mhm.
is because she only
Right.
slept with one person. Whether
Okay.
it was consensual or it wasn't consensual, she knows she was
Right.
only with one person.
Okay.
So, with
Yeah,
that
we
being
also
said,
have the scenario where what
Wait
if
a
the
minute,
woman
Nick. Let
gets
me let
pregnant?
me let me see where Stacy's coming from with this.
Okay.
so and with that, I could see where you say, well, um, the guy doesn't. Let's say he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? That he's the. So How you
But
gonna
why
put
would
something?
she want? Why would she want a paternity test if she slept with one person?
And why wouldn't he know?
Because
That's
he
where we
don't know
gotta
who she
come back
slept
to
with.
the.
Well, he
Well,
wouldn't
he
know,
don't know
but
who he
she would
slept with.
know. But why
She
would
don't
she
He
know.
would
want
know.
him
He
to
don't
have
know
a
who he
paternity?
slept with.
She
He
may
don't know
not
who
want
else
him.
she has slept with, Bougie. That's why we got paternity fraud.
She knows, but yeah,
He
Right,
doesn't
but why
know.
he
would she
doesn't know.
want a paternity test if she slept with one guy? She would know
Right.
who that is. It would
Well,
be
I'm
the
just saying,
man
in
who would
order
be
for her to
doubtful.
get child support, say if she wanted, if the state says who is the father, because she's
Yes.
trying to get money from the state. If
Yes.
she says the father is Ray Ray,
Right.
and Ray Ray gets a DNA test and it's not Ray Ray, she knows who
No,
the
wait a
person
minute now.
is, but because of
Okay.
the circumstances that you're saying, he's abusive about all these different things. Him being abusive, him being what all these different things that he is, does not take away his responsibility for bringing a life into this world.
No, it doesn't. But that might be somebody. We're talking, does the woman need financial support or does she want support for a relationship with her child? If you've been abused, you don't maybe not want a relationship with your child. Now, a lot of things are only up to the woman, unfortunately. We're the ones giving birth. So if I do not want that person to have a relationship, that would be my view. But if that man wants a relationship with my child, he should be ordering the maternity test.
That's fine.
Maternity test.
All I'm
Because
saying is,
right, but it
that-
shouldn't be mandatory because it's on a case-by-case basis. We're talking about people
Right.
who are
Right.
married. We're talking about people who are in relationships. That does not, it's not an all for one type of thing. So,
I understand that,
so
but what I'm
everyone
saying,
shouldn't have it.
if they pass the law going forward or whatever,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
that every time a woman gets pregnant by JoJo, they need to have a paternity test.
That's very
That would solve a
intrusive.
lot of those issues because he'll know that his child, she knows that it's his child, and the state knows that's his child. So the burden of taking care of that child is not on the state, it's on him and the mother.
And that would be, I think that's would be like a strain on relationships and
I don't care
trust,
about no strain on a
trust
relationship.
issues,
Right.
trust
On a
issues
relationship.
But
and stuff
Stacey,
like
do you
that.
not know people now who dodge support and who's been ordered
I
to pay
do.
support? So
I
that
do.
doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get financial support from someone.
It does not. But what it does say, it doesn't mean that you're going to get support from them. But what it does say, he is the father. You know what I'm
It
saying?
says he's the father, but doesn't mean that he cares that he's the
But
father.
these states, what they do now with these fathers, they ain't got to say if you're not going to pay child support, they'll take your license. You know what I'm saying?
This
So
is
a lot of
true. But if it's already court ordered in certain instances, when you take someone to court, then that is already being done. What we're saying is, why does it have to be done for couples who have 4 or 5 kids, and every time they have a child in their marriage, and they've been married 10, 15 years, that those people as well have to have a mandatory paternity test?
because there's a high percentage.
No. Oh
There's a high
no,
percentage.
Stacey. Not
That
in the
is very
marriage.
intrusive.
Yes, in a marriage.
That's very.
Sometimes
Oh
people step
no,
outside of the
Stacey.
marriage.
In a
I'm
marriage,
just saying.
bougie.
They step outside
Oh
the marriage, but it's
no.
up to them to want. If that man has
Right.
no issue with raising that child, that is none of the state's business.
No,
Well,
it's
he
not.
wants to
He
know.
may have an
It
issue.
is the state's
If he's-
business
if
because
he's
wants to
been
know.
married to this woman and she stepped outside the
We're
marriage.
trying to
But
marry
he may not
back.
care. He may
It's-
not
He
care.
It's a
or he
regular
may
He
marriage,
may not
bougie.
care.
It's a regular
Yeah.
marriage. 50% of marriages fail. It's a
He
regular
may
marriage.
not care. But it's failed by financial reasons usually. But
Yeah, but
Really?
okay, financials goes into child support. He over here paying for a baby, little Pookie over there with them
But
diapers.
if there's a man who's concerned about a child's not his, he can ask for a paternity test.
A lot of times, I'm gonna tell you something about most men. Most men, we not gonna pay no attention. We paying for everybody in the house.
No, that's
But-
not true. There's a lot of I actually
I'm saying
personally
married
worked,
men.
I
I'm talking
actually
about-
worked in child support.
My sister
And let
worked
me
in child
tell
support
you,
for
it was
20 plus
more men
years.
calling up there saying that those children were not theirs than women who
Right.
was calling.
Right, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
the men probably,
Because-
they didn't want to pay, huh?
but
That's what I'm saying. They're not
is,
going to automatically pay. So if
right,
they're
because they need to
concerned,
know.
case
But
by
now-
case.
But
If
now
I'm
in
pregnant
Georgia,
with my husband, I feel like that's a violation to me. Then I would have to get
it's a violation to a
paternity
man if
test.
he find out it ain't his.
Yes, but who's involved in this? Who's carrying more
Her
than
and whoever the dude
who's
was
carrying
that
more
was
than my
sliding in the back
husband?
door.
Who's caring more than my husband? The state, right? And why are they caring so much? Because it's financial.
What about the point that was brought up about, if this child has some sort of health issue,
Right.
like that child should know who their biological father is.
Right.
And so in
Yes,
that
but
case,
mandatory
again,
will not automatically do that, because you may not find, in order to find a man that a woman has been messing with, they have to give up information.
mm-hmm.
Unless the government already has our DNA on file of everyone.
But
that may not happen anyway.
But you would know ahead of time if you already had a paternity test, whether that child is yours.
Well,
or
ahead
not.
of what? That man's DNA would have to be in a system.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
You may not,
is,
and I know of a lot of women who are not telling the state on purpose who their fathers are in order to receive money. So
that's
they're not
paternity fraud.
They're not exactly, but how are they going to feel if it's mandatory? They're not going to give up information up. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying it's not going to work.
All right. I'm just saying.
Okay, Tanya, let me ask you something. When you are going to have a baby, do you know the things that they do to the blood that they take? Do you know the things that they do to your baby? Do you know the things that the state, if they want to have everybody's DNA, they will have it?
This is true.
The issue here is not about the state or whatever. It's about people should take responsibilities, because most often children have suffered because of people who have not taken responsibilities, because we are talking about both the mother and the father. Mm-hmm. And we are saying that even if you are going to marry one B and you already are pregnant with A, it's your responsibility to tell B, I am already pregnant, this is not your child. And then B will like say, okay, I'll take you and the child. Let people decide knowingly. Let people.
But it's exactly what I'm saying. Let them decide, not mandatory. Thank you.
No, but the thing is, since people are not as honest, and there have been so many issues, and that's where the mandatory will solve all these problems up front. It will promote all this.
It will solve some problems, but at the end of the day, it's still about money. It's still about the government being involved in your personal relationships and getting money for the testing, getting money with handling all of it and informing you. All that takes money.
It's
right?
cheaper. It's cheaper to get that test.
If everybody took their responsibility from the word go, the government will not need to enter in anything.
Mm-hmm. How about this comment by LP?
Keep paying $1,500 a month, $1,200 a month. I mean,
the men have to be responsible too. I mean, if you are laying down with a woman,
I agree.
Then you know how babies are made, right?
I agree. Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is
you could be part of the lineup, or you could be the one.
Right. You just need to know which one. If I'm in the lineup, she just picking out somebody. I don't want you to just pick me out because I'm nice and I take care of my responsibilities.
It still would be based on the information a woman gives. That's what I'm saying. She is the holder of all information, right? She would have to say someone's name, location, address, find this person. That is not always going to happen. So the mandatory may not work because
I would not care.
Information, it's not an automatic thing. They're not in the bedrooms with you.
See, if I'm the father that has to take the DNA test to see if it's mine or not, if it's not mine, I don't care if she find Pookie or not. I'm out the loop. It doesn't matter to me.
So are you willing to pay for it?
For me, yes.
Okay, then shoot. Then make it mandatory for the men to pay for it. Then I'm good.
Man got to pay for everything anyway. The system has already got it where the man. Listen, the truth of the matter is the system is not designed for a man. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Bougie, so, get in here. Help me. Stacey,
it's already against the man. He doesn't have a win. The way the system is set up now in most
places. He had
a
win when he laid down with that woman. And
whether you're the father or not.
He wasn't married to her.
Whether you the father or not, if she says your baby, y'all go back and forth 9 months, you go to the hospital and you sign the paperwork before the other boy get up there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then legally,
before you sign anything, take the test.
That's what
But I said it shouldn't be mandatory because it's
You
case
need to
by
make it
case. I
mandatory
don't feel like a husband and a wife situation unless they know that there's been infidelity or someone feels a certain kind of
Listen,
way.
how
That
many
the
And
state
laws
should
can
not be involved. The
but
state
she's
should not
saying
be
that there
involved.
should be some restrictions on the
Tanya,
mandatory and who
Tanya,
is
Yes.
it mandatory
Tanya,
for.
listen
The
to me now.
government
And
should
y'all
be involved,
listen,
should not be involved in everyone's relationship.
listen,
Only the
Right.
ones
listen.
where
I'm
there
I'm a
is doubt.
man. I'm the only man up on this panel, and I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all know it's the truth. Women lie and sneak and do all kind of freak. They lie and cheat better than a man could ever do it. We
Wait a
don't
minute.
never know nothing.
Hold
We
on
just
now. I'll put these on. What'd you say?
women
He
lie
has a point
and
there. He
sneak
has a point
way
there.
better and cheat
And we
way better
do
than a
what
man can
men
ever
do.
do it. 9 times out of 10, a
Mary Ma,
man
you
gonna
hear
get
this, and you're
caught
just gonna let this
because
man
From
talk?
the
They
best.
both women and
We
men both
learn from
lie.
the best.
yeah, but women way
Men
We
sneaky
and
both,
women
and get
both
away with it.
lie.
both of
They
us.
both lie.
Yes.
I'm not saying men don't
Yes.
lie. I'm saying y'all do it better. We get caught 9 times out of 10. Y'all don't. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, Stacy. Life is a transaction. Whether we like it or not, we have come to the level where life is a transaction. And all of these mandatory things are just a way of protecting the children who are vulnerable, the vulnerable group,
Gold
and
digger.
asking people to take their responsibilities. If everybody took their responsibilities, they will not be used for any mandatory things. But since people don't want to take their responsibilities, that is where the mandatory comes in, so that upfront we can stop a lot of challenges and hassles and spend time like on more useful things, like we
Yeah,
said.
listen, I'm reading this case study. This man says his clinic does 400 cases per month. 60% are negative. That means 6 out of every 10 paternity tests are negative. That the man is not the father. There's another clinic in this same country. He corroborates what this other guy says. He said, at our clinic, we have almost 70% negative rate. That means if 10 men walk into our facility to get a test done, 7 come out with a negative result. So it's
No,
terrible.
I agree with all of that. What I'm saying is, if you think you're going to get out of a person, it's not a perfect science. It's
It's
based
not.
on a woman giving information. And if you do that, being it mandatory or not, you may or may not get what you think you're going to get, because she can always say, I do not know. And she can include people who may be the father and who aren't the father
She
on a
can say,
list
I
of
do not
people.
know.
So it doesn't necessarily mean the only one that you can positively test is the woman, period.
I'm fine with her saying, I
Some
do
people
not
go
know.
on vacation and get busy.
Listen, I'm
You
fine
ain't
with her
gonna find them
saying she
people.
don't know. I want to take the test so I can get out of the dream pool. I can get out of that line. You know what I'm saying? She says
Right.
she don't know.
But if you feel like you're in a line that you don't belong in, then you get the test.
Right.
And
That's what I want to
maybe you
know.
need to change your lifestyle, bruh.
No, maybe she need to
Why
change
are you
hers.
out there?
Maybe she need to change hers. She out
Wait
there
a
with that
minute.
community boom
This is
boom.
not abusing the woman, because
Man,
if you slept with this
So
woman and you could possibly be in
obviously,
a lineup. Yeah, you sip on that, Stacy.
and
If
I
you could
didn't know she
obviously,
had a
possibly
lineup.
community boom boom is
I didn't
okay.
know she had
It's
a
a
lineup.
good
She's
thing
so
if
slick
you
with it. She up there
Okay,
participating
playing.
you
in it.
didn't think she had a lineup, but
She over there
you know
playing
you
church
probably did.
girl. I'm thinking like, bro, I got
Okay,
you.
listen up, listen up.
I got me a church girl.
We
You
have some money.
really, Stacy, really.
We have money in the chat. We want to thank Soil
All them
Sister
tricks she
for
knew, all those tricks.
donating tonight. Thank you, Soil
Okay, that
Sister.
part.
Thank you, Soil Sister. Thank you so much, Soil Sister, for supporting the
We
show. We
appreciate you, soul
appreciate you.
sister. She
Okay,
said,
Thank
the
so
man said, keep
you.
your sword inside the
Appreciate
Scarborough
you.
boys, and you won't have. Listen,
Listen,
You could be strapped. You could be strapped up in everything, and the woman says, "I don't play them games." You could be strapped up in everything, and the woman says it's yours. You be like, "How's mine?" But you still don't know.
Listen to this. Sweet Ree says, I'm biased. I know too many real life situations where the woman told multiple men that it's their child just for the money. I think it should be mandatory. So when you look at a situation such as this,
that don't need it needs to be mandatory.
Yeah,
it's like Tanya said, when you're in that kind of situation, then yes, take the paternity test, but it doesn't need to be mandatory for everybody.
All these levels.
In that
situation. You guys, the way Stacey's making it seem, he's lumping all women under the same umbrella. Like
no,
I'm
not saying
that. There are these loose women who need to be monitored.
It's nothing against
they need
all women.
Testing because they act like church women when they meet them.
Listen, it's nothing against all women, but I do think men need we need some kind of protection because we have none.
There's no
so
protection.
Stop sleeping around with loose women. That's your
farming's comment. I like that one. Did you see that? A lot of women bashing. If a man thinks that a woman will not make a good mother, don't sleep with her. Boop.
That goes to the same thing about you sleeping with these pookies.
Choices and decisions, yeah.
That goes to the same scenario of women sleeping with these pookies.
It's 8-19.
But the baby is there regardless. We know we're the mother.
Right. But just because you slept with her doesn't make you the father.
No, it doesn't. But you pay for that paternity test.
I'll pay for it because the child support
because the other option is the woman or the state's involved.
Here's a good question from LP. If a man requests a test, is she required to give it, or does she have the right to deny the request? If he goes to order. It has to be a court order.
You go to court order because in order for now, and Georgia now, in order for you to get child support now, because I had to talk to my sister, she worked down in child support for years. Now you have to have a mandatory DNA test before they put the man on child support. Back when, all you had to do is get a joker name. Yeah, it was a little Ray.
But what I'm saying is, even if she gave a name, like you said, it could be the wrong name.
9 times
so,
out of 10.
Are you going to waste government's money doing wild goose chases on a men names that maybe a woman wants to get back at somebody and she's just putting names down?
That's fine, but I want that man to be exonerated if he's not the father. That's all I'm saying. This man needs to be exonerated. You can
easily do that. If you are in a lineup and someone has said, hey, you're the father, then you pay for the paternity test.
Growing out the box says, make it law. Bring the test. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I'm telling you, it's terrible out here, man. It's terrible out here. Man, listen. It is terrible out here.
Listen, it is. But it is. As long as women are
you see this is your responsibility too. If y'all like to run around with loose women, don't be putting that on loose women. Don't do that.
That's what Bougie said.
Don't do that.
Bougie, just because.
Don't do that.
Bougie said what she said.
She said what she said, but as a man, most times, now sometimes you know it's a loose woman, but sometimes she over there with the church girl, she got the Bible, the glasses on.
It don't matter. You still slept with her. I don't care what kind of stuff
off the top floor.
You didn't have to sleep with her. I don't care what trick she pulled on you. You didn't have to sleep with her. That was your choice to sleep with her.
She's so sweet. Then later on, you found out in the streets, oh man, that's Keisha. Oh yeah, boy, everybody, yeah. But you didn't know.
Well, you still chose to sleep with her.
Right.
Have we considered
take on your responsibility too.
It's his responsibility if it's his, Bougie. It's not his responsibility if it's not.
Have we considered the child, once the child is outside of the mother's body, that should that child have a right to know who his parents are?
Needs to know.
Yes, that in the chat? Do we consider that?
I think mothers should be honest with their children. Yes.
Yes.
But a lot of them don't know. A lot of these mothers don't know.
To be honest with you, when you're involved, when you do a paternity test, it's never about anything but the money. Right?
Okay.
Now, if you didn't want this man to pay and you wanted your child to meet the father, you wouldn't need the courts. Let's be honest, it's always about financial support.
That's right, because some men are getting drugged and it's not their child.
Say what?
So it's not about that child.
Some of these men out here getting drugged over hot coals, and it's not his child. If it's his child, he should pay everything.
But I think we agreed that if you come to a situation where there is a doubt, then yes,
it's always a doubt.
Mandatory. No,
That's
what
your-
you mean?
that's
Oh
your perspective.
no, you
That's
out
your
of order.
perspective.
You is ranking out of
it's
order
all
right
into
now.
the-
Yes.
No,
Welcome in.
it's
Welcome.
the situation. If the situation is a doubt, then yes, take the test.
It's
If there's
always
a
a
doubt
doubt.
there.
Case by case.
You just like, men be like, yeah, okay, they look like me. We keep
There's
it moving.
something wrong with you.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's something wrong with.
if
It's
more
something wrong
people-
with. It's
if-
something wrong with 35 to 70 some odd percent, depending on what.
But you talking about married people too, Stacy. You're
That's
not just
right.
talking
You
about
gotta have married people.
Sometimes married people
no,
step
sir.
outside
Married
the
people are
relationship.
saints.
Just because you're
But
married,
then
doesn't
that's a doubt. If there is a doubt, take the
If
test.
they as a
If
couple
there's a
decide,
doubt, take
they
the
as a
test.
couple decide, yes, but not mandatory. No. And
Right.
Nikki, again, whose side are you on?
I'm on nobody's side.
No,
Not
Nikki is
every
clearly on
time.
the side.
I'm
If
on
somebody's
nobody's
in a
side.
marriage, not every time they have a child, they should be taking a paternity test. That's
It ain't
not,
nothing little. It
There
ain't
used to
nothing
be
little
some big
swab,
families.
bougie.
no,
in the
that's
South.
not. No.
Big
Swab,
families in the South, they had about 10
Mm-mm.
kids. Ain't no way they were about to take 10 paternity tests.
But daggone well, I'm from the South. My great uncle had 16 children. He probably had help with a couple of them.
Throwing out the box, say, I don't know one man who would disagree.
And that's maybe the problem is that maybe people should wait to be in healthy relationships.
You're right,
Yeah.
Tanya. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But
You know,
a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
but
that we're
what-
talking about has been thrown out the window. You know what I'm
But
saying?
once she's pregnant, yes, so much for that. It's a little late.
a
But
lot of that, a lot of that's been thrown out the window. Ain't no okay.
is
She
there
pregnant,
is
let's get married.
Is it safe, Stacy, to mention that men have the opportunity and the choice to use protection?
Women do too.
Wait a minute now. The
Women
women
do too.
women are
Women
not
do
going to
too.
be. Women don't have to be bashed in this
I'm
scenario.
not bashing them,
right?
But see, anytime
So-
a man says anything about, I already knew what this going to turn into. Anytime a
did,
man
and you're
says
right.
anything about a woman being responsible, it turns into a bashing.
No, because this is not
saying
about
I'm not
women
saying-
being
I'm not
bashed.
saying
They
you
both
guys-
should
should be responsible on both sides.
They should
That's
both
all
be
I'm saying.
responsible.
They
Yeah,
both should be
Can we all
responsible.
agree to
Of
that?
course.
Can we agree
Yeah.
that they both should be responsible?
both
This
should be
isn't about
responsible.
bashing the man.
Yes,
It's
no,
not about bashing or
But
shaming the woman. It's
anytime-
about both
being
people,
being
both
being
parties
I'm not taking the
being
responsibility away
responsible.
from a
Coach
man.
Mary mentioned that before. Being
I'm not taking
responsible.
I'm not taking responsibility away from a man. He has to, if he did what he did, he dove in there and he wasn't covered up or whatever it may be. If that's a possibility that that's his child, he need to know before he gets obligated to do anything for that child. That's all I'm saying.
And
If
I
he-
agree to that too.
If he's the father, and we know he's the father, and it's been proven he's the father, he has to pay or whatever the obligations are. But it shouldn't be fair to put it on this guy. His
Well,
license
nobody
being,
wants it to be on someone who is not. We're not saying,
but that's the problem, though. That's what
We're
it's
not saying
for.
eliminate it, but it's a case by case. I don't
Yes,
think
okay,
that I
it should
should be at
be
the
case
hospital.
by
My husband
case.
should be getting it. No,
No.
unless it's something that
Mm-mm.
I
Swab
asked
me.
for.
No.
Yeah. She talking about these girl trips. Hell no, swab me.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Ain't no trust there. That's not a relationship. I
It
don't know
ain't
what
got nothing to
that
do with
is.
trust, boots. It got something to do with
Yes,
reality.
it does.
No.
Like
A
every
man
time
can
we
trust
have
you
a child, we're
100%.
gonna get every
Listen,
time we
Boots.
have a child, we're gonna get a paternity.
I'm gonna give you a
test on
100%.
nut.
A man could trust a woman 1,000%, but there's a percentage that the child is not his. It has nothing to do with trust.
In some scenarios,
But what I'm saying is, a man can
Absolutely.
trust a woman 1,000%,
in some
Trust her.
scenarios,
but
But
still,
we're talking
he
about
doesn't
a
get a
marriage. We're not talking about like all this other stuff going on. We're talking about you're talking about swabbing people in a marriage.
They need to be swabbed because they cheat too.
Mm.
Y'all acting like we talking in a foreign
in
language.
your world, we're all cheaters. Okay,
No, we're not all cheaters. But what I'm saying is, we need to eliminate.
But that's what you're saying to a person.
we need
You
to
might
bring
be
the light.
cheating on me, so go get this
Wow,
swab.
we need to bring the light to the facts.
No, you might be cheating on me, so let's go get this
No,
one.
it ain't.
That's what he's saying, basically.
Bring the light to the fact. Okay, listen. Growing out the box says the problem is not taking care of your own; it's taking care of someone else's child. So
Yes, we agree with
that's
that.
the important thing. So we
Yes,
all
we
agree.
always think
that
We agree with that.
about taking
Yes.
care- Okay.
Yes.
There are
we
all
agree
sorts
I
with
don't
of
think that is
variables
not
as
our
far as
argument. That has never been
safety
the argument.
is safety. If you're married for 10 years with 6 children, yeah, they're going to be different variables, but at the end of the day, like the foundation here is we agree that we need to make sure that we're taking care. Men are not taking care of other people's responsibilities.
Right.
Unless they would like
We
to.
all
Right.
agree on that.
That's also a choice, right? If you want to take care of
You have a lot of people that do that. You
But
have
I
a lot
wanna
of people
know.
that does that.
I want to know. I don't want to be in
Yeah,
the
and
No,
they
I'm
should
saying,
know.
I mean,
Yes,
I said
they should
knowingly,
know.
knowingly.
Yes, knowingly. Yes, they should know.
Yeah. No one
I
is
want to
arguing
know.
about the truth. We want the truth to be known, but we're talking having the government involved in this.
They're involved in everything else.
But that's why they shouldn't be involved in this.
So let's
So,
just say
but who is the government?
The person who's making it mandatory.
No, who is the government? No, government
Yeah.
is you and me. It's
we're part of
everybody.
the
No, whoever is making it mandatory.
Yeah,
Because if they make it mandatory, they are going to make sure they get paid. And then the taxpayers are going to have to pay for the service.
They already paying for WIC, stamps.
Yeah, so you want to add
all these
more
different other
when it's
things.
not
Section
necessary.
8.
When it's
Slip
case
that
by
mug
case,
off.
it's about who's going to pay on the end of the man is court ordered, right? So the man or the woman is responsible. Why are you putting us taxpayers in the middle of all business?
Yeah, you did, Miss T. You sure did.
Because we always in the middle of it. We pay for us taxpayers pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? Whether Pookie is
Yeah,
the daddy
Kelly.
or not, we pay.
No, you pay if you're the
That's
father.
a whole nother story. That where our tax
Cheap.
monies really go. People think people spending other people tax money, not.
Well, you kids get along now. Tell them food for us.
Listen, all I'm saying is, if I's the pappy, I need to know.
And I want you to know. And I want you to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this subject
But not me being over here
different
paying
for men.
18 years of child support.
No, I do not want you to do that. Not at
I
all.
don't build this relationship with this child, and then we find out it's not mine. I'm still gonna be in the child's relationship. You know what I mean? If it's been that long, but then I feel obligated to help him find his pappy.
GT Jr. says, if not mandatory, then what is the answer to help people be honest? So if you have a woman out here,
cannot be control freaks.
We're not saying not to take the test. We're saying that the
Right.
situation, if it calls for a test, then yes, take it. We don't want you to pay for somebody else's child. No,
Right,
no.
right.
But not for it to be, when you say mandatory, that means everybody.
yes.
Not
If
just certain
it is,
situations. You mean
yes.
everybody.
It's just
yes,
weird to me,
yes,
man.
Boucher. If it
Every
is
time we
already
try to hold
established,
people accountable, it just feels weird
No,
to me.
no, like we said, not in the marriage. Don't be getting in people's marriage
No,
like
but
that.
if-
No.
if statistics show that 7 out of the 10 men who go for
It's not the
paternity
pappy.
are found that those were not their children.
And we're not
It
saying
means
not
there's
to
a
take
problem.
the test. No, we're not
means
saying yes, take the test. Go ahead, take the
take it.
test. Knock yourself out with taking the test, but it goes for every situation. If you make something mandatory, then you getting in everybody's business that you don't need to be in.
Right.
We're not saying that if there is a doubt, yes, take 2, 3,
A
4,
man
5.
won't know if there's a doubt, Bougie.
Take the test.
A man won't know if there's a doubt. He's not
Well,
going to
then
know.
there's no problem.
What is he doubting? Right. What is he doubting for?
There's no problem.
Listen, there's so many men walking around here have no doubts that's not the father. Is what I'm
Then
telling you.
leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Leave
and
them
mind your
alone. That's
business.
exactly right. Because
Leave
you
them
know what?
alone and mind your
Some other
business.
man might be raising that man's child too.
If they don't have no problem with not having a doubt, don't have a doubt for them. Mind
Listen,
your
we're on this
business.
earth for a limited amount of time. While I'm here, if at all possible, I want to know who brought me
Then
into
go
this
and take
world.
the test, but don't make
I
it
wanna know.
mandatory for everybody else to do it.
Exactly.
Before
Exactly.
I leave here, I want to know who's my pappy.
Then go take the test,
Okay, that's what
Exactly.
I'm saying.
but
Because she's
don't
not
make
gonna tell
everybody
me.
else do it.
She's not
Just
gonna tell
because
me
you're
because
in
she may
doubt,
not
that
know.
don't mean
This
everybody
is
If
a
else
she's
hot
not
do
going to
it.
tell you
topic.
what kind,
This is a hot topic.
who are you in a relationship with, or what kind of relationship do you have with this woman?
No,
I mean, y'all not
the
worried
thing,
about too much
I
when
think we
when
are.
it's going down, and all of a sudden on the back end, y'all want so much.
No, I
Because
think
you
we
got to
are.
pay so
I
much.
think we are taking too much. We the women are taking this thing too personally. There are cases where your child is swapped in the hospital too. So sometimes it's not just because the woman was doing community engagement. Sometimes even in the hospital, they swap people's children knowingly or unknowingly. So we are just trying to avoid all of these
Yes, but it's
mishaps.
not a perfect science because again, it's not like some where the woman automatically can tell you, right? It's her choice. It's always going to be a woman's choice to tell so they can find the person to take the test. That is not always
Yeah,
going to be not going to happen.
we
If a
want
woman
The
makes
just
her
point of
we
mind
that
just
up,
is,
want
if
we
she
just
doesn't want
want
to deal with this man, she's not going
Right,
to deal with this man.
right,
but
You
right.
will
nobody else
never
should
get a
be
name.
paying.
You will
yeah,
never
then
get a
tell
name.
Nobody else should be paying
then
for this
tell
child.
if you
If
don't
But
she,
want
you
if
to
she
may
pay
don't want
not.
to
the
go
In
to
pay.
every
anything,
scenario, another man not be paying for it. Now, taxpayers might be paying for it, but another man may not be paying for it.
why not
That
put
yeah,
the
that's
burden
not
on the
always
person
the
who
case.
brought the
Somebody
child
else
into the
is
world?
taking care of the child. That's not
Why not
always the
put the
case.
burden on the person that brought the child into the world?
Because they have their own reasons.
Right.
Well, if you
I
got your
don't
Yeah,
own
think
yeah,
I
that's
don't
reasons,
why
think we
we
can
say
judge women for having their own reasons. We're not in those positions to say.
no, if
But
you have that kind of situation, tell the person up front that this is not yours and the
what if they
person will
don't know the
decide
person's name?
willingly. No,
oh
What
no,
if
you
they
my
just
don't know
God,
their
Tanya,
name?
Tanya, you just done went the way out that time. What have you?
No, because a lot of women have been on vacation and a lot of men
Well,
lie.
'cause see, when
A
y'all
lot of
talking
men
about
may tell
mandatory, y'all saying that every time a woman is giving birth, this is going to be mandatory for them to take a paternity test. And this is where Tanya thing comes into, where they have to give a name in order to have this paternity test done. So what
So
if this
what?
person, like she says, don't want to be bothered with that person? They're not trying to get anything from that person. They don't want nothing
right.
from that
Well, they
person.
shouldn't have. They
They
shouldn't
don't
have busted
care.
open.
They're not trying to get child support, none of that stuff. So
exactly.
why should they have to be mandatory to get a paternity test?
Oh my God! Because now the state got to pay for it.
So
Why?
yes,
How
but the
you know
state is
that's
already
gonna
paying.
happen? How you know that's gonna happen? You don't know that's gonna
That's
happen for
true. They
every
may not be
single
getting money from
person.
All right,
anyone. What if you don't want any support because you are a self-made woman?
all
Right.
right.
Does the child deserve to know who their father is?
Yes, they do.
Whether you
They
want
always deserve it. Doesn't mean that they always are. The mother even knows. There's 1,001 situations and scenarios.
so the mother's going to decide whether or not or when that child
The
can know
mothers
their
always
parent.
decide.
That's a
Those are
part
the
of the
ones who
problem.
grow the babies.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
have
she
the
didn't get it
access.
by
They have the
herself.
immediate access.
Okay. Welcome in, Homesteader Rachel. My brother was raised a child that is not his. The child and my brother found out he wasn't the father when the child turned 18. Then the mom told the son after my brother raised him for 18 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've-
don't believe in lying to your child. So I do feel like the truth should be a conversation with your
Yeah,
child.
those are sad cases. Those are sad
It's
cases.
a bunch of sad cases.
Those things
It's a
should not
bunch of
happen.
sad cases,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. That it's a bunch of sad cases.
Yeah, but I don't think the way to try to change it is to let the government police women's bodies and their choices.
Okay. Well, they shouldn't charge men. They shouldn't make men pay for children, even if it's his or not.
And we agree with
Yeah,
that.
So wait a
We
minute. Even
agree
if
with
it's
that.
his,
I don't have to pay.
even if it's his,
I don't have to pay if it's mine or not. If a woman can choose to do what she want to do, let a man be able to get a little bit of choice.
it's not about. At that
Because
point,
we
if
don't
she
have a
takes you to
choice.
court,
We don't have a choice. Men are paying
well,
for
you had a
children
choice
that are
whether you
not
slept with
theirs.
her. You didn't
You
have to
did
sleep
have,
with her.
Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah,
Happy
that's
Mac. The
right.
baby. The
sleep with me
baby is
either.
the one that truly
She
matters
didn't have to
here.
sleep with me either.
What about the baby?
This is about the baby because it's always
Right.
access. The mother has the only true access to her child.
And that's a
Yeah,
problem.
there are just so many different variables,
problem.
different
Scenarios,
situations here.
Yeah.
Again, like we said in the beginning, there's no one way, no one answer, but there are a lot of perspectives, a lot of opinions here, a lot of views. So, but this was good, you guys. Stacy and Coach Mary Ma, you all pleaded your case. Tanya and Bougie Prepper, they followed up.
Yay! High five.
The chat was on fire.
This is
You
all
all,
your male. This is all your men out there. Listen, I got your back, bro. 100. I got you.
yeah, you
Men
guys,
are
you
always
guys
very
did
sensitive.
good.
Listen, men are always sensitive about child support conversations.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why.
That's their money, girl. That's their money.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why
They
they're
don't play
sensitive
about their
it.
funds.
Yeah, because if it's your children, you know, most men gonna pay for their kids. But if they don't know, or he just low down, you know what I'm saying?
Some people, you say that, but some people don't know and still don't want to pay. I give an example. When I separated, I think 2 of our kids were still probably eligible for the child support. When I applied for my divorce, I didn't want no child support. I didn't want nothing. I didn't apply for it, but the courts made it mandatory for the child support. I didn't want the child support. I didn't want to bother him with none of that. To me, it's a free will for you to do what you feel. These are your kids. Then you choose to do what you want to do as far as supporting your kids financially, like that. So it's all according to the. I think it should be case by case.
Free
Nothing
will
should
don't
be.
always work with a bunch of
Case
these
by
jokers out here. So you got to put some pressure on some of these men out here. Free will don't always work. If it's his child, I don't want no free will. Put some pressure on that joker.
Yeah,
Make
but you
him
know
do
what?
it.
I
Make him
also
take
worked
care
at
of his
child support.
responsibility.
You would probably be very surprised that when I worked at child support, how many men change jobs once the courts find out where they're working.
Right.
So they're not necessarily getting the money anyway.
Some women, some of them, yes. I'm not saying that every man that's been determined a father is doing his due part. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the ones that are I need to know before I start paying whether it's mine or not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I think we got what you're saying, Stacey.
No, but,
if anything, we got what you're saying, Stacey.
We're not saying that they shouldn't know. Everybody should know. You should know. If there is a doubt, yes, please go find out. If there's a doubt, please go find out.
Paying
do
for
that first.
Yeah. So I'm talking about all these baseball bats and basketballs and going to all these camps and doing this and blah 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 and going. I want to know.
I would be crushed if my husband demanded a test.
Maybe you were out there creeping, Lisa.
Oh no, you
didn't. No. Maybe you have issues within yourself, and you're trying to put them on me by saying I need to go get swabbed. Oh, absolutely.
Men and women are both sneaky, so I get it.
But that doesn't mean.
What about the people that's not sneaky? What are you doing to those people?
I can see the hurt feelings. I can see the hurt.
Men lie.
I'm hurt just for y'all saying that.
Men lie.
I'm hurt.
Women lie. Numbers don't lie.
We talking about people that's not liars. Everybody is not a liar.
How am I supposed to know if you're lying or not, Bougie?
And that's the issue with everyone. That's the issue with you. Don't put that on me. That's the issue with you.
That don't mean nothing. That baby don't have to look like you to be.
I'm not saying you personally, Bougie. I'm just saying, how is a man supposed to know if a woman is lying or not?
I'm not saying me personally, Stacey. I'm saying within a relationship. If you're saying I'm married to you and we need to get swabbed, there's an issue with you. And I'm not a cheater and I'm not a liar. I'm not going to get swabbed.
We already know.
You got an issue. You need to go figure out what's the matter with you.
I'm like, hey, Pooh Bear, you know that test coming up here?
Pooh Bear.
No, not happening. No.
Not going to start with Pooh Bear, though.
Because that's what I call my wife, Pooh Bear.
Yeah,
I'm like, Pooh Bear, you already know we finna get a little swab going on.
No. That ain't even cute.
Odom said he
No.
wanted
No,
to know
it's
if he
not.
was
It's
happy.
not cute.
Yes,
What ain't
Kelly,
cute
this is
is
obviously a very controversial topic with many
Mhm.
points of view to be considered. So yeah,
Mhm.
hey,
I
what
mean,
ain't
if
cute.
anything, to wrap it up, I mean, if adults were more
I like that,
responsible
Tanya. That's
and
what should be
honest.
happening, Tanya. Wrap it up. Yeah, wrap it
Oh.
up.
I mean, if adults were more honest with each other and
Mhm.
develop
Mhm.
relationships, you may not need the court at all. Because even
Right.
if you found out that was your child and somebody was honest with you about it and the kid looked like you, then you could arrange support. You don't need the court.
Listen,
Mhm.
But
I went
people
down
aren't
to the courthouse.
responsible.
I went down to my sister worked child support for 20 some years. I went down to the courthouse one time to see her. I'm sitting in court, and just like you said, a guy came in with his, I don't know if his wife or ex-wife, whatever she was to him. They went up there to the judge. They told him they had already got their arrangements done, and the judge did not get involved. Like, you good with this? They signed something, they left. So they didn't determine how much he was going to pay. They had already solved that. They just went to court and got to take, and that was that. But I did see a dude jump up.
Oh Lord.
I did see a dude jump up with a suit that he looked like he had just got out of a laundry bag. And I
It was wrinkled.
listen, my sister would
Stacey.
tell you, the judge, not the judge, but the lady that's sit down below the judge, she was like, Stacey Rooks. And I thought she said my name.
You yelled, the child's not mine.
This is everything I love.
Uncle Father.
On everything I
never
love.
had
I thought
sex
that woman
with that
said,
woman.
she said, Stacey Rooks. And I went to looking. I just come to, go to lunch with my sister. That's what I'm thinking.
They started stuttering. He
Hey,
Got him. The old
This
lunch
tall-
with the sister trick.
oh no, they know I'm good. This tall, light skinned dude jumped up. He stood up. When he stood up, the bailiff started walking towards him because the judge was like, "Oh, I see you missed court," and they started walking towards this dude. And then that girl said, "Oh no, judge, we rescheduled him. Blah. They finna lock him up." So no, we rescheduled him. Woo woo. And then the judge asked him about, is he working? Blah blah blah. Then he asked him, "Do you have any money on you today?" Yes.
Wow.
Do you have some money? And he was like, he went to pulling out this money. That money was wrinkled as hell. He went to pull out that money. And I think
along with that suit.
that's the only thing that probably kept him from going to jail that day. He did have a little bit of money to give,
But think how many more court scenarios that would be, or other scenarios, if it was mandatory. There would be not even room for any other thing to happen, because people get pregnant daily. Thousands of people, millions of people.
Well, you can
daily.
get the DNA test before the baby gets here.
Okay, that's still a process that
Okay,
someone
let's
has
go
to
through that
manage.
process. We got 9 months.
It's still a process to manage.
9 months is shorter than 18 years.
No, we're not saying go that long. Find out. By all means, find out.
But some people have to pay longer than 18 years.
If somebody is paying, it's not their child, they didn't demand or ask for a paternity test. That's none of our business.
Someone is asking me where I'm from.
Where are you from?
I am from Cameroon. Cameroon is in Central Africa.
She's from Cameroon. I'm from
Central
Central Africa.
And me, I'm from the west side of Atlanta. You already know, one time, all the time.
Nobody even asked you, Stacey, and you trying
Look
to
at
rep
that, Stacey.
Stacey just had to jump in there.
I vote yes.
One time for that west side.
Oh my goodness.
This been fun, man. This been fun.
Oh, thank you. A beautiful jungle.
Thank you, beautiful
Thanks,
jungle.
a beautiful jungle.
Thank
That's
you so much for
$10 for child support.
All right, let's play this jam.
Hey.
All
Hey,
right.
Hit on that
Thank
video,
you,
but
beautiful
she
jungle.
hey,
Oh,
getting
man.
it. Wind it up with this hand, wind it up with that hand.
All right. So to end the
wait,
show,
there
type
we
A.
go. Oh, I thought
Oh,
we were doing the wave.
wait a minute.
Okay, wait.
Oh yeah, Bougie.
Nikki, you went
Okay.
the wrong
Sorry,
way.
Bougie.
Nikki, you went the wrong. You go, Nikki. The other arm.
Oh,
Start
Go
with the
Nick.
other arm. Yeah.
You went the wrong way, Bougie.
yeah.
Okay.
And Tanya,
Tanya got that thing. Tanya got that shit. I ain't lying.
all right. Type an A in the chat if you are for paternity tests. Type a B if you are against paternity tests. Let's see what the chat says.
Mandatory
Mandatory
paternity
is the
test.
key.
Someone got pregnant in the
Mandatory.
Poconos. Y'all see that comment? Somebody got pregnant in
Oh,
Poconos.
gone. What was you doing in the Pocono?
Poking. Duh.
Come on, B. Come on, B.
Topics like this give you the opportunity to be objective on the issue. Exactly, Kelly.
I see a bunch of A's. I see.
Come on,
Let
B.
me get down. Let's see. Where are we? Let me get down here.
I give you $10 cash app, B.
They said, hey. We got A's, A's.
Hey, B.
Okay, we got some B's here.
We got a couple B's. I'll
Got some
put it like
B's.
this right here. For those that put in the B, imagine that it's your son.
Okay, listen, you're not going to attack our bees like that.
And guess
You're not
what?
going to do,
Those
Stacey.
that
You're
put in
not
the
going to
B,
talk our bees.
My baby son had a doubt, and the first thing I said is, "We getting a test done."
okay. Imagine it's all y'all B writers. They got your son up here. He paying $800, $900 a month.
No, we going to get a test. If there's a
Come
doubt,
on,
we getting
Sylvia.
a test
Choose
done.
one. Choose one. A,
She said,
B,
hey,
depends. Come
that's
on,
a
make a
vote for,
stand.
that's a
Make
vote
a
for B.
stand. Make a
I'm
stand.
going to put some
B.
pressure on these mothers. Imagine it was your son.
Wait a minute,
that got-
somebody said C.
See, what? Come on now, hell.
Hey,
We can't take y'all nowhere. You and Sylvia, we can't take y'all nowhere.
he done lost his job, and the child ain't even his. They done took his driver license, locked him up.
Come on,
All right,
Stacey.
Sylvia, I said, okay,
Come
A,
on,
if I have to
Stacey.
choose. Say if I
Like
have to
Tanya
choose.
said, you didn't choose to take a test. The choice, you have a choice. Take a test. If there is a doubt, take
Yes.
the test.
Yeah, no
Exactly.
children without
So-
marriage.
It looks like the A's have it for tonight, but just curious, starting with Stacey, is that how you truly feel? Because here's the thing, Tanya and Coach Mary Ma, I gave them their position. It wasn't like they chose it. So they were just defending what I gave them or what we gave them as a group. So Stacey, how do you really feel in real life? A or B?
I think we know.
If they could put something
yes,
before
we
A,
know.
if they had a letter before A,
Stop. All right, Bougie, how do you feel in real life?
Not mandatory, no, not mid. Just take the test. If in doubt, take the test, yes, but mandatory, no.
Coach Mary, how do you feel in real life?
I think it should be mandatory because it's not about the money. It's about people taking responsibility. And it's not only about child support. It's about health issues. It's about a whole bunch of things. So I take A all the time. And like Stacey, if there was a letter before
before
A,
A,
All right, Tanya Banya.
No,
How do you
so
feel?
I think before you mentioned it because I read it wrong, I was totally like mandatory. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, no, I'm with Bougie. Like, totally
Okay.
against it. I don't think we should be.
Yeah,
involved.
mandatory changed because you gotta really look at that word mandatory when you say that. Like
Yeah.
the shenanigans we went through and everything was mandatory. They was, if you didn't want I call it the kill shot. If you didn't want it to and you making it mandatory, you gotta watch when you're using that word mandatory.
I'm gonna give you for instance
Exactly.
with mandatory. We choose and pick when we object to things being mandatory. There's a lot of insurance companies now on jobs and whatnot. You have to take blood tests and this and that before
But you
can
have a
get-
choice. You don't have to be at that job.
Hold on.
And you don't have to have
You got-
sex.
But listen, in order for you to have insurance, you have to have I can't with
What
you.
did I miss?
But they they prick your finger and they do all these, they weigh you and all these different, they do your
Where do you
BMI.
work?
They doing too much. They doing too
Where
much.
do
That's
you
what
work?
companies are doing.
No, you're doing too much
That's what
now.
and
You're doing
that's
too much.
mandatory if you want that insurance.
We at a job or we at a health clinic. Which one we doing?
No,
We
I'm
need
just
to
Yeah.
saying that's
struggle.
where it has gone. The last
Pick
where
a
I
struggle.
worked at
And
last,
this
that's
is
what they
what
were doing.
happened when you make things mandatory. You give them room to do other foolishness that they don't have
I'm
no
just
business
saying.
doing.
Either you won't have
That part.
insurance or you will. That's
Then
all I'm
don't give
saying.
me none. If you got to do all of that, then don't give me none.
Okay.
Right, Kelly? Yeah, the mandatory aspect is what changes the conversation. It's
It
I've been
does.
there.
mandatory
It
Nikki is
has.
does.
finally right. She is
It
finally right. This
does.
whole
She is
show she's
finally
been
right.
That one word, the one word.
No,
We're not
watch
talking
God.
about
Thank you, Kelly.
people not taking care of their responsibilities. That
Yes, we
word
are.
mandatory,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are
that's
talking about
what it
people
is.
taking care of other
Okay,
people's
we could be here
responsibilities.
all night, all night. Okay, Coach Mary Ma, we appreciate you being here and
Thank you, Coach.
participating. So, do you have any last words? You have anything going on your channel that you would like to share with the audience? This is her information. If you want to go and check out her channel, please go and do so. All right, you got the floor, Coach Mary.
Thank you so much. It's always an honor to share your space, and today has not been different. I really totally enjoyed like exchanging and flexing our ideas, and
Lexi, I like that.
so it's always an honor to come. What's new in my channel? I have memberships. I just want to serve people closer, and because I really want to do the one-on-one coaching, and so anybody who is interested, I have memberships.
Nice.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you so much. It's always an honor to be here.
Thank
And
you so
thank you
much, Coach
everyone in the
Mary.
chat. Please, I didn't ignore anybody. Thank you so much for the love and support. I love you all. You are loved, appreciated, and celebrated. Thank you so much.
All
Coach
right,
Mary
thank you,
Ma,
Coach
thank you
Mary
so
Ma.
much for all your
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
we're
you
gonna
for all
drop
your
you down. Thank
wisdom
you.
and your experience, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
and your knowledge of this subject. I really just want to let you know I appreciate you, man.
Yes. Thank you. Good night. We're going to drop you down. Have a great rest of your evening.
Good night.
All right, Tanya Parker, you are up next.
Yes.
You want to talk about your store or anything you would like to share? You go ahead, Tanya.
I'd like to talk about the attitude of Stacy tonight
We're
because
not
he
talking
went
about
too
that.
far. Oh,
We're not,
not
no.
that, not that,
Leave
not
my
that.
co-host alone. Leave my co-host alone.
Okay. Bougie was wonderful. Can I say that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No. Follow me at on Instagram and Facebook, DC Honey, D_C_Honey on Instagram. www.dchoney.store. Nikki has that song in that ad, but no, it was great being here. I like debating. I love arguing, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Especially against Stacy. I want Bougie to be my partner always.
Okay, so this is Tanya's. I've got her little thing. Let me pop that.
www.dchoney.store. Check them out. Go ahead and get your beats. www.dchoney.store. I'm gonna get men's and women's, www.dchoney.store. Got that apparel and much more. www.dchoney. From the tank tops, tees, the hats and hoodies. Quality. dchoney.store. Check them out. Go ahead and get your beats.
Thank you.
You know, being from DC, we love our go-go music.
Yes,
so again,
indeed.
You want to check out her store, you can go ahead and do that. What happened? There it is again in the chat. All right, thanks, Tanya. We have to have you
Thank
back
y'all.
to
Hope
actually
to see
show
you
some of
soon.
your gear. All right, good night.
Bye, Tanya.
Good night, Tanya.
All right.
She's always fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Always.
Thank you for the 48 that are in here. Hope you hit that like button, and sharing is caring. So what we're going to do is next week we have Joy of the Garden and Home as our guest. And so we're going to do a $10 Cash App next week, because we're out of time. So we're going to get you guys out of here so you can go and visit some other channels. We appreciate you all being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for your comments, your likes. Thank you for the monetary support.
Stacey got something to say.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do a quick discussion of the times.
Yeah.
Go
ahead and go forth with that.
Okay, so the summer's coming, and me, Bougie, and Nikki, we kind of throw around the idea of changing the chats to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. So I think starting in June, that first week in June, we're going to go from Saturdays to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. So keep that in mind. We're going to keep talking about it on Wind Down Wednesday and the next chat and so on and so forth. Just to give you guys a heads up that the date and not the time, but the day will be changing to Mondays. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So we're looking at that first Saturday in June. Saturday, I believe, is June the 3rd. So it'll be that Monday, June the 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the change. So hopefully that works for everybody. And we'll see you over there in June. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, I did have a last word. Let me pop that up real quick. Let's see. Let me find that. People who can't communicate think everything is an argument.
True.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Find something you love and have fun doing it. I am.
And if you have some seeds, put them in the dirt and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Keep preparing, growing, and practicing. Ashe.
Ashe. All right.
Au revoir.
Thank you guys for being here.
Truce.
So we can get up out of here.
Arrivederci.
Let's see.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Sewell.
Good night.
Same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we.
Good night, you guys.
That was nice.